Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Diachronic Euros here on this Monster Hunter Worlds video, and today we're going to be talking about the Siege, the new Siege in the game, which is equivalent to a raid of the Kulve Taroth. This is the new Elder Dragon, Queen of Gold. She's going to be in the Eldorado Caverns. I don't know if you pronounce her name Kulve Taroth, or you call her Kulve Taroth. I don't know what to call her, but basically she's the Queen of Gold, and our objective in this one is to basically knock as much treasure off her as possible before she inevitably takes off, break her horns off, and you win the mission. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what you have to do to progress, to get the most rewards, to get the most challenges completed, to be able to get the armor, to get the golden weapons, the golden armor, the Palico Lion Mane, as well as the Samurai armor. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things in this one. A lot of things were a little confusing, how the siege worked, the mechanic in general, I'm going to be talking about in this video. So the first thing you have to do before you can begin anything is actually find one piece of Kulve Taroth. Now all you have to do is go on an expedition in any area. I went on the Elder's Recess, which seemed like the most logical considering she was an Elder. Then you just go find one of her scales on the ground. It's like this big, bright, golden scale-like thing. Grab one of them and then head over to the Gathering Hub. I personally grabbed two of them, so if it didn't work, grab another one, maybe you need two. Once you're at the Gathering Hub, otherwise known as the Celestial Pursuit, then you can start the Siege. Now the way this works is you can get a maximum of 4 teams of 4 players each that will all contribute to this same reward pool. Now every single team, if they break off different parts of the armor, if they attack the monster and get more materials off of them, if they collect more tracks, they all contribute to the same pursuit level, the same level of rewards. So it's important that all these teams batter the monster as much as possible in many different ways as possible, and it will contribute to all the people that are currently on that server or in that Gathering Hub. From what it seems, it does not look like every team contributes to the same health bar. For the most part, it seems like they all contribute to the pursuit level as well as the reward level, but on your own instance, you have to damage the monster to its full extent before it flees. That being said, the more parts you break off, the more materials you collect, the higher pursuit level you get, which means the monster is more likely to be cornered and it stays around longer, the longer you have to fight the monster. So breaking off parts, collecting tracks will contribute to the team as a whole and increase your pursuit level up to a maximum of level 6. Once you have a maximum of level 6 pursuit level, then you can probably go in and defeat the monster in that run. You probably could do it at pursuit 5 as well. It's just that pursuit 6 you have more time to beat on her. As far as weapons and armor go, I highly recommend going for a fire resistance set. She has this AoE attack that's very fire based, that's very heavy. Otherwise, besides that attack, it's all physical based, so don't worry too much about that. Just go for your highest defense. As far as weapons go, I was using a dragon weapon and it seemed like it was pretty effective. I was using an insect glaive. Insect glaive very specifically, I highly recommend. Technically, it's not about breaking her horns. You want to break all the different parts around her body as much as you can, but the insect glaive allows you to get to the most different locations. It gives you the most mobility, and of course it gives you the most chance at dodging her incredibly damaging attacks. I think she rolls over, she headbutts, she smashes in front of her, and she does an AoE attack that she just kind of blows fire into the ground and it radiates out in a circle. With the insect glaive, you can stay in the air and avoid that attack, but for the most part, this fight is not that difficult. You can pretty much bring any weapon you want. I would highly recommend using dragon damage because it has Elder Seal, which means that it'll make it so she can avoid using that AoE attack, which it wipes entire teams. I saw one team of mine, literally all 3 of my other teammates died at the exact same time from that one AoE, whereas I was with an insect glaive, I was still in the air avoiding the attack, and we lost that one, but hell, that's okay because you can keep on going in at her at the same pursuit level. If you guys have figured out what damage type is more effective than dragon, please let me know in the comments down below, and of course check down the comments. I'll try to add a comment at the top, pin it at the top as an edit if I do find out after this video. And finally, if you have decorations for Part Breaker, make sure you put those on because that is all you are doing in this fight, is all about part breaking. So make sure you equip as much as possible. That being said, I also think that hammers, very blunt weapons, are also very powerful at breaking a lot of parts as well. Maybe even a switchblade on the hammer setting, or I forget, I think it's the axe setting, is very effective at breaking off parts. So let's talk about the actual fight. You're actually going to start off in the first of 4 different areas. Taroth is going to be very slow. She's pretty much going to ignore you. She's like late for a meeting, and she just really just wants to stroll along. She does not give a care in the world to all the flies around here. In this area, there's a bunch of cannons, I believe, you can use to actually blast her. That'll do a lot of damage to her, break off a lot of parts. In this area, the first time you go through, your goal is to collect the most tracks, her scales, the different materials that drop off her, maybe hit a Galacta a bunch of times. Your goal is to get the most information possible to increase your pursuit level as high as possible. So collect the stuff around the area, collect the scales that drop off of her, the materials you can also get for creating armor and whatnot, and maybe attack her very minimally. Make sure you're basically just following her and getting all the stuff you can before she escapes. Don't worry if she does escape, that is what's supposed to happen. She's supposed to leave, you're supposed to go back to the hub, rejoin in on a quest, and go at her again. Every time you fight her, you get a higher pursuit level, you break off more parts, you put more damage on her different parts, and it's all about driving her as far as possible before you fail until you get to the final 4th area. In each area, she gains more attack, she becomes more active. The more parts you break off of her, the faster she becomes, the more active she becomes, but for the most part, she doesn't become that difficult. Overall, I'd like to say a Devil Joe non-tempered version is harder than this monster, but that is, the fact that I was using an insect glaive the entire time made it a lot easier because I was in the air for a lot of it. So again, the first area, she kind of just walks around in the caves, she strolls. In the second area, she does a bunch of barrel rolls. You can, as long as you stay out of her way when she's barrel rolling, maybe jump over her, you shouldn't have that much problem. The third area is going to be very fire-based. She's going to get her AoE attack. There's going to be a fire on the ground. Make sure you bring cool drinks for that, as well as all of your other buffs. And in the final area, she's going to have all of her attacks. She's going to be released from her gown. Spoilers there, apologize. She does get her parts broken off to the point where she looks like a giant lizard, and she doesn't have her gown anymore. Just follow her into that final 4th area. Avoid the AoE attacks, and for the most part, this is not a very difficult fight. Make sure you try to knock her down as much as possible, because in this phase, when she starts to get less parts on her, you do a lot more damage to her, and in the face, you can do so much damage when she's knocked over. She gets knocked over for a long time. Also, that being said, whenever she turns to very bright gold, kind of reddish brightness, she's actually a lot more affected by any attack. So if you ever see her during the attack just kind of become very bright gold, kind of weird kind of color, then make sure you attack her then, because that is going to be the most damage to break off armor pieces. I guess she heated up her armor of some kind and it made her more vulnerable. I'm not too sure why it happens, but that is the time to attack. And that's pretty much it. Once you do break off her horns, that will end the fight. If some other team breaks off the horns while you're still fighting, you do still get to play and break off the horns. Breaking off the horns is the most rewards, so once her horns do break off, she's going to take off and leave. That is what's supposed to happen. Then you carve off her horns, you collect the rest of the materials in this area, and you finish the mission. Once you do finish the mission, you're going to find yourself back at the gathering hub. Go to the hub last and collect your reward. You're going to find yourself anywhere between 1 to 18 rewards based on your reward level that you'll see as you go along. The reward level is based on the number of challenges you complete. Each challenge is basically destroying different parts of the monster. You'll be able to see here, this is a list of challenges that we completed. There was only one that was still question mark. Again, comment down below what that last question mark item is. I have not seen it yet. And again, I'll add that to my pinned comment at the top if I do find that out. From what it seems like, you can get to a reward level of 18, or at least there's 18 different slots. I don't know what that last question mark is, but it should be a lot of points if it's going to get us to 18. The highest I've ever gotten was a reward of 16.5. Obviously, I didn't get half a reward, but the bar went about half. So if that last one is probably like 150 or something, it should get us all the way to 18. And when you do claim your rewards, you'll notice a lot of things called melded items. Again, these are going to be the new weapons, which are basically golden leaf versions of all the other weapons that we already have in the game. So you'll see like Anjanath bows, you'll see Tobi-Kadashi katanas, you'll see all these things. They all have their respective elements. You know, Anjanath does fire, Tobi-Kadashi does lightning and whatnot, but they also have a nice gold finish. There's also a chance of getting a rarity 7 and a rarity 8 weapon as well. I got one of both of the 7 and the 8. So these are going to be the formations that are very similar to the ones we've seen in the past, but they are going to be the much powerful version because they are gold, and everybody knows gold does a lot more damage. I guess it's not true. They don't do more damage. They're the same weapons, but you have a very easy chance of getting these weapons without having to build them. So perhaps you'll get a very random drop, or you'll get a very expensive weapon, maybe like an Azor Rathalos lance, maybe like a Diablo's bow. A lot of these things are very expensive and hard to get, so maybe this will make it a lot easier to get these weapons and actually try them out when you can have them drop from the sky. Otherwise, I would just sell the rest of them. There's a lot of level 6 ones which I have in my inventory that I should probably just sell. You can see what the armor looks like. It's very nice, slim finish. These skills aren't really that alluring to me. They're kind of above average as far as skills go. You can see here the Palico armor looks very nice, makes him look like a dragon. There's also a samurai version, and of course, hopefully I was able to get a male and female version of each armor so you can see what it looks like. Overall, armor looks fantastic. Weapons also look fantastic. The monster fight is rather easy, but I could see it getting a little difficult as time goes along and nobody's actually doing the siege anymore. So make sure you do the siege as soon as you can, and you'll be able to get the most rewards you can and with the most people playing at the same time. Anyways, that's the video for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did like it, make sure you leave a like down below so other people can find this guide, understand how to fight her, and be able to get the most rewards possible. Of course, make sure you subscribe for more Monster Hunter in the future, whenever there's future monsters, events, whatnot. I hope to do videos on those as well. And of course, the Spring Blossom Festival is still going on. I think it's going to be going on for a few more days, so make sure you do those events while you have them. Anyways, I've been your host, Diachronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.